ChatGPT. Relate ACM to the movie Awake, The Life of Yogananda. Awake, The Life of Yogananda through the lens of A Course in Miracles. ACIM. Awake, The Life of Yogananda is a story about spiritual awakening, devotion, self-realization, and the longing to remember our true nature. Through the lens of A Course in Miracles, ACM, it becomes a reflection on the journey from identification with the personal self to the remembrance of the eternal self created by God. At its heart, the documentary asks, who am I beyond the body, personality, and worldly identity? This question is at the very center of ACIM. The search for self-realization. Throughout the documentary, Paramahansa Yogananda is portrayed as a seeker of direct experience rather than mere belief. He seeks God, truth, union, awakening. ACM likewise emphasizes experience over intellectual understanding. Concepts may point the way, but awakening comes through direct recognition. Both paths invite us beyond secondhand knowledge into living experience. The illusion of separation. One of Yogananda's central teachings was that humanity has forgotten its divine nature. ACIM teaches something remarkably similar. The separation from God never actually occurred. The sleeping mind merely believes it did. The spiritual journey is therefore not about becoming divine. It is about remembering the divinity that has never been lost. The documentary repeatedly points toward this remembrance. The teacher within. Yogananda often emphasized inner communion with God. ACM speaks of the Holy Spirit as the inner teacher. Both point away from dependency on external authorities and toward guidance arising from within. The form of the language differs. The underlying invitation is similar. Listen deeply. Trust guidance. Remember your source. #miracles and mysticism. The film includes stories of mystical experiences, synchronicities, and extraordinary spiritual phenomena. ACM would gently redirect attention from the phenomena to the purpose. The Course teaches that miracles are shifts in perception. The greatest miracle is not supernatural ability. The greatest miracle is the release of fear and the remembrance of love. The documentary continually points toward transformation of consciousness rather than fascination with powers. Devotion. One of the strongest themes in the film is devotion. Not devotion to a personality, not devotion to a doctrine, but devotion to God. ACIM teaches that the mind inevitably serves what it values most. The ego values separation. The Holy Spirit values union. Yogananda's life reflects a profound willingness to orient every aspect of life toward awakening. East and West, a major contribution of Yogananda was bringing Eastern spiritual teachings to Western audiences. Viewed through ACIM, this symbolizes the recognition that truth is not confined to one culture, religion, or tradition. The forms differ, the symbols differ, the language differs, yet love remains the same. ACM repeatedly reminds us that truth is one, although it may be expressed through many symbols. Awakening from the dream. The title itself is highly symbolic. Awake. ACM describes the world as a dream of separation. The goal is awakening, not improving the dream, not decorating the dream, not becoming a better dream figure. Awakening. The documentary portrays a life devoted to that purpose. Humility. Despite his influence, Yogananda consistently points beyond himself toward God. This reflects true humility as described in ACM. Humility is not self-deprecation. It is the recognition that our strength comes from source rather than the personal self. The movie repeatedly illustrates this quality. The central reflection. The ego watches awake the life of Yogananda and asks, how can I become more spiritual? The Holy Spirit watches awake the life of Yogananda and asks, what if my true self is already whole? Viewed through ACIM, the documentary becomes a meditation on remembrance. The life of Yogananda symbolizes the mind's journey from identification with form toward recognition of spirit. The deepest message may be, awakening is not acquiring something new. It is remembering what has always been true. The search for God ultimately ends in the discovery that nothing real was ever separate from God. The journey home is the journey of remembering the self that was never lost. Go to mwge.org to find full movie and commentary by David Hoffmeister.